Hello everybody, Team Molotech here, back with another discussion video. And today I'm going to be talking about the top 10 dirt cheap, not budget, dirt cheap decks that you can play for Link format. These decks are dirt cheap. I mean, they're so cheap. And some of these decks are literally just 3 structure decks and you have the whole thing. Some of these decks have their cards reprinted so many times already that you can get them so cheap now. And so now we're going to start with number 10, Boojins. Whip out your debit card and put $50 on there, and you can basically get the main and extra deck core of this entire deck. I have some of the Boojin cards in real life. I personally don't play them right now because they're just better options for me as a Yu-Gi-Oh player, but if you're a dirt cheap player, then this deck is definitely for you. I mean, what this deck really needs in order to come back and maybe earning the spot as an honorable mentions in my top 10 most competitive decks overall, budget, non-budget, and expensive decks. To earn a spot as an honorable mentions list, it has to get Kaiser Coliseum back. Until Kaiser Coliseum comes back, this deck is gonna just remain as 10th place on Dirt Cheap. And that's gonna be it for now. I mean, strength that the deck definitely has is abusing Boojin, Sinew, Crane, and Honest. It has a total of 8 different ways of having a form of Honest in their hand or graveyard. And being able to play Boojin Yamato control, or you can go with the heavy rank 4 spam Boojin build, where you combine Boojin with some light one cards like Raiden and Wolf. Or Felice, you know what I'm saying? You can go rank 4 spam heavy, or you can go control based, where the whole deck is built based around setting a whole bunch of traps, having Yamato and sitting on that Yamato all the time. So now let's get to the next deck. The next deck that we're going to be talking about is Dark Worlds. Ah man, Dark Worlds. I profiled Dark Worlds on my channel a few days ago, and that deck profile doesn't seem to be gaining a lot of positive reaction, thus proving that Dark Worlds is a very underrated deck. If you combine it with the right cards, it can be really overpowered. Put some viruses in there, and Dark World Brainwashing is a totally underrated card by the community. It's basically skill drain all over again for Dark Worlds once you get the board set up properly. But I'm going to be doing a separate video about that eventually. I don't know when. But I figured Dark Worlds were in the 9th place on here, because they're a decent deck overall. Now, the next deck that we're going to talk about is Fire Kings. Chicken Turbo. I've always called this deck either Chicken or Turkey Turbo. Because that's what it really is. Garunix abuse. Garunix and Sacred Feast of the Nebius in this format are broken. You bring them out, you're going to use their effects, and you're going to be able to clean house all the time. No Link deck, I can guarantee you this, no Link deck will be able to establish a board on you. And in that type of deck, I would play the Side Frame Gamma engine in the side deck or the main deck, whichever you prefer. Because you can make Omega, and Omega can float himself off the field, and he can flip-flop between the field and the banishment zone, thus being able to make way for the big fat chicken High Avatar Garunix to come in and incinerate the board every turn. And at the same time, Omega takes away a card from your opponent's hand for a whole turn, but, you know, it's just really good and solid overall. Definitely a decent Link format contender. I wouldn't be surprised if this deck actually gets some tops at locals at some point, eventually. And it's just really good overall. I mean, I'm surprised that Fire King Island was a common. Probably one of the main reasons why so many people could have access to Fire King Cosmo yet don't, because they don't know how to build the deck properly. That's okay, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to give you guys the guidance you need. Anyways, next card. Or I mean next deck anyways, but, you know. The next card we're going to be talking about is Inferno Tempest Turbo. Did I just say card again? Yeah, the next deck I meant, sorry, is Inferno Tempest Turbo. This deck is ridiculous. I play tested the deck myself back in the days where I used to use it, like back in May and like April and May-ish. I was playing this deck a lot online, and it managed to beat Zoo. It beat Burning Abyss, Matt Easy. It beat Pendulum Magicians, and it beat Dinosaurs. It beat Dinosaurs, the second best, if not the best, Link format contender. The only deck that I couldn't beat was True Draco. True Draco is just too strong. But the second best Link format contender, this deck was able to beat. For the number 6 spot, we have Felgrand Turbo. Felgrand and Archbrave. The Felgrand and Archbrave loop is so powerful because of Archbrave's effect to clear face-up background. And Pendulum skills if people decide to use those, and field spells as well. And on top of that, this guy easily kills off Masterpiece. And this deck doesn't have a really hard time dealing with Zoo either when built properly. So, you guys should try this out, especially since the majority of what you need for the deck is in 3 structure decks, just like Dinos. You may need some outside cards in order to make the deck consistent, and that includes Felgrand and all of his variants. Mainly Lightsworn Felgrand, Felgrand Demise, Felgrand Card Demise, and Blue Eyes Felgrand. Yeah, Blue Eyes Felgrand, Lightsworn Felgrand, and Card Demise Felgrand. All 3 of those are really good. Have a lot of potential. Number 5, Mermails. Abyss Teus got reprinted. Finally, the Abyss Teus got reprinted, so now everybody can access this deck for a reasonable price. Just a really heavy water main deck spam deck overall. And you can make synchros. You can actually build the deck in a way you can use Totally Awesome. But if you need to do the budget version, that's why I have the budget version placed 5th place overall. If we were talking more expensive overall, it might be a little higher here, but you know. Number 4, Barrier Statue. If you build a Barrier Statue deck properly, you wouldn't even need Card Demise. The same people that say you have to run Card Demise in the deck are the same dolts that say you need to run Necro Valley in a Barrier Statue deck, which is obviously a terrible thing to do. It will break your hand. It will be useless. And I'm not trying to insult Necro Valley over here, but yeah, GKs take 3rd place for dirt cheap decks. Necro Valley with its new Arawatex basically sets every single meta deck around on fire. The only one that can get away with that right now is Zoodiac. And, I mean, how long do you think Zoo's going to stay around? So yeah, GKs are going to be a very good Link format contender. Number 2, Dinos. We should have known this one was going to be here. Oh man, I hate this deck so much, I'm not even going to lie. The fact that you could just take 3 structure decks, buy 3 copies of True King Lithosagum online, and you just buy a small amount of cards for the extra deck, being Evil Soulagia and Dolga. Go and buy some random freaking Synchros and Exceeds for the deck. And Trishula has gotten way cheaper over time. It's like a $5-6 card now. So you can't even say that's expensive anymore. And also, you can do Yang Zing Dinos as well, where you don't even run the True Kings. You can do Zephyr Yang Zing Dinos. You can do so many stupid, retarded things with the deck. I'm not gonna lie, this deck has me fed up already. So yeah, 2nd place. But in my opinion, the real number 1 is Lightsworn. for dirt cheap decks. And I'm going to explain why. See this guy right here? Judgment Dragon? He can clear out the board better than Turkey Turbo. Judgment Dragon is the second most powerful boss monster in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! History. Number one being Herald of Perfection, of course. Nothing beats that. That's why I put Herald as number one in my last list. But of top 10 decks overall, but since this is top 10 dirt cheap, Light Sworn has to take number one. I'm sorry. I'm calling this out. Most Light Sworn variants overall are really cheap to build anyway. Check out Team Kina Games' Light Sworn ABC and Light Sworn Phantom Knight deck profile. I'm pretty sure you guys will appreciate them both, seeing that they're both original and creative. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This is Team Wartech signing out. Peace.